Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's a beautiful Thursday. We are doing our things in our own little quarters right now. That's a dope look. Practicing social distancing.
That's
Big
a
big
fact.
up, big ups to Live Hip Hop Daily, keeping us rocking and keeping us going as these urban times present Sideline Stories on TV. And as we see, we got the EPH in the building at the studio holding us down, and Groovy Lou at the studio holding us down. I am always your host, Terrell Thomas. And we got the crew, Craig Armstrong and my man B. Diddy. Brandon Trish in the building as well, and they respectable man caves doing their thing. It's great. It's great to be talking to you, gentlemen, because it's a few things that have taken place in the world of sports since we last have encountered each other face to face. I'll say since the pandemic's taking place, and of course, our prayers are out to everyone that's currently affected by the pandemic, and our prayers and our thoughts are also out to all those who are going to encounter a rocky road going forward, whether it be unemployment or just the daily activities are switched up and things of that nature. So our thoughts and our prayers are definitely out with you guys, you ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to try to provide a bit of entertainment to keep you going and keep in tune with what's going on out here. Now we're going to get going because last week the NFL decided to keep things in motion. So we know the NBA's been on hold with suspensions. Major League Soccer has been on hold with suspension. Baseball is on hold. Hockey is on hold as well. But the NFL free agency period still did take place. And a certain somebody in the Brady Bunch right now in our Brady Bunch box, kind of kind of spoke on TV, 12 going to TV, and as funny as we all sit in our own respective, as I say, Brady Bunch squares right now, that's what we're gonna talk about. Tom Brady taking his talents to Tampa Bay. Gentlemen, and I know Lou, we know Tom Brady number one with you. We know.
I said, damn, Terrell was right. But after that, I was like, right. Then I was like, and we gotta play him twice a year, and he got better weapons. All I can think now is like, I hope they supply him with an offensive line because Jameis did not have the greatest offensive line. So we'll see. We'll see. I think they have the pieces to do what they need to do, but it just depends on if they give him an offensive line because they damn sure got the tight ends, receivers, running backs, all that. So we'll see.
Brandon,
They
what
definitely
were your thoughts? Of course, your team won't have to see him twice a year, but Tom Brady going to Tampa was still very big news in our sport world. What was your first thoughts when you saw the news?
I was like, unfortunately, I was right. So I guess I had to give you some kind of credit for that. But no, I mean, it made perfectly sense because we all know that it was either going to be there or the Chargers. And the Rams, I mean, the Chargers is a little too far from New York, and Tampa is closer. And then, he gets out the AFC, go to NFC. Now you can play in a good division between him, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, and Teddy Two Gloves. So now that division is up for grabs. But like Craig said, now they had to get an offensive line they can build around because they definitely have the skill position. And the defense is good getting the Dominican Sue back, Devin White, and Shaquille Barrett. So Tampa making some moves. I think they need to get another backup to back up Ronald Jones, and they'll be set.
Hold on. While I have you, while we have you in the cube talking and whatnot, then Craig, I'm gonna come to you. That's what I do want to ask because Brady did take a very favorable deal. He could have asked for about 30 to 35 million per season. He signed a 2-year, $50 million deal, so pretty much $25 million per season. But he can make up to 59, pretty much 60 million with different incentives and things that come along in the deal. He had a few clauses in the deal as well, whereas though he can't be traded nor could he be franchise tagged in these next 2 years. So he's pretty much dedicating that he'll be in Tampa for the next 2 years. God forbid, no injury, anything like that. He'll be out there and he'll be looking to win the Super Bowl. And just to add icing on the cake, if everything goes well and the NFL season begins on time, the Super Bowl next season will be in Tampa. So Tom Brady will be looking to make history and become the first, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, along with Tom Brady, will be looking to make history to become the first team to actually play at home in the Super Bowl. Brandon, what I really want to ask you, what I still like to ask you is, they do still have gaps. They have a lot of weapons out there, young defense. They have young wide receiving core out there that's pretty good. I think you put them both. Their receivers is definitely a top 5 as far as the whole receiving crop out there. But what would you say Tampa Bay would need to go at? What position do they need to target immediately if they really want to make a run, not only for the Super Bowl, but to make a run in what is now a tough division in the NFC South?
I think they need to go get another back and some DBs because your front seven is fine, but you need another back in your secondary because we got Devin White, like I was saying, Shaquille Barrett. We signed Ndamukong Suh yesterday, and Levante David. So your front seven is fine. Just you need to get your back seven and another back. I think that'd be all right.
Craig, talk to me.
I don't know who they're going to get, but they'll be all right.
Craig, you will see this team now twice a season. And, Tampa Bay, along with Jameis, me being a Florida State guy, I was kind of disappointed in what Jameis has done in the past few seasons. Craig, let me know, man. What is a piece that you can see Tom Brady in the Tampa Bay Bucks needing to go to the Super Bowl?
I think the thing with Tom Brady is if you go back and look at his most successful years in New England, he had a very good offensive line. So I think, and especially in the interior of that line. So I would think you would want to go with a guard, maybe a center. Whoever is the best guard, best center on the market, you need to get them. You want to protect Tom Brady because he likes to step up into the pocket. He ain't really that tight. So I would say interior linemen are going to be really important for him. I know they have a young offensive line. They've invested some draft picks in. I know they have Ali Marpet in there, but I would like to see them go after a veteran guard center. I think the defense is fine. Jameis threw 30 interceptions last year. He kept them on the field, so kept good centers and good guards around. You got to be able to protect him to be able to step up. So we'll see how they go, but that's what I would say.
Craig, while you're talking and everything, is give me a head nod. You got a new player out there in Ty Gurley on your team on the Atlanta Falcons. What type of impact do you think Ty Gurley is going to actually bring? Being back here in Georgia, a place, of course, where he played his collegiate football. Don't know what his needs are like, what his health is like, but what are your expectations for Ty Gurley? It could be an impact in the red zone, a place that the Atlanta Falcons desperately do need help.
So when we signed him, I had a mixed reaction because I was like, I mean, it's great if we were getting 2018 Todd Gurley, but with bad knees Gurley, we'll have to see how that goes. He does give us a weapon, a back that's used to catching the ball out of the backfield, but also we like to run a zone blocking scheme, and he's used to that as well. So I think he'll be able to fit in well, but I don't think we should look for him to be like a bell cow back. I think his days of doing that are over. I think he's going to have to share the load with somebody. I don't know who, but he's going to have to share the load with somebody. And I'm looking at his touch distribution to be like more like 60-40, maybe 65-35 in the season. But if we can keep him healthy going towards the end of the year, I think we could be dangerous with him.
That's very good to know. I dig that. Now, Brandon,
and Dante Fowler was a good ass fit.
Oh, yes, indeed. I respect that. Good move for the defensive line. We'll see what he does with Dan Quinn. Brandon, a few more things, though. There's a few more question marks now in the NFL. A few more unknowns, a few more variables that'll be left out there. With Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay, that now means Jameis Winston will be looking for a job. As you said, Teddy Two Gloves now resides in Charlotte, with him being the newest quarterback or the newest member of one of the newest members of the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton was recently let go, so he's another guy that'll be looking for a job. Brandon, you're very familiar with SEC football. So it'll be very interesting to see where Cam Newton ends up. But I want to ask you about Cam, Craig. I'll go to you about Jameis. Brandon, where do you see? Give me a team or two that you think would be a good fit for Cam Newton to take his talents, as they say.
I see him taking his talents to the West Coast to either be the Chargers, if not there, then go to Brady's old summer ground and go to New England, because both of those teams and quarterbacks. I know New England signed Brian Hoyer, but it's Brian Hoyer, and yeah, anybody think Brian Hoyer is better than Cam Newton? You need to be drug tested, or Tyrod Taylor. If you been a Cam Newton, need to be drug tested. So both of those situations, I can see Cam fitting there, because definitely with the Chargers, you have Mike Williams and Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry, and just resigned Austin Eckler in his lane. Austin Eckler, the running back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that would be the better situation if you wanted to go, a team that's ready to win, and you take the next step and play in a good division, the AFC West. So I think if he had to pick, and Cam like the limelight, so go to Hollywood.
Now, I will say this, in this time of everything that's taking place in the world, they are doing drug tests. So there might be a few GMs and head coaches out there that truly do believe their current options are better than Cam Newton in your case, or Jameis Winston in the case of Craig. Now, Craig, my man, Jameis is out of Tampa, man. 30 for 30, they call him 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. We never thought it could be done, but it has been done. Jameis tried to take drastic measures, before getting released, or not being re-signed. Excuse me, because he wasn't on the team. He wasn't re-signed. He went and had surgery on his eyes, to get that straightened out. So maybe he won't be throwing to as many linebackers and defensive backs in his upcoming season if he finds a team. If he's able to find a team, where's a place that you think will be a good home for Mr. Jameis Winston?
The problem ain't he blind. He must be colorblind because he throwing to the other team with the other uniform on. But if it was me, if I was Jameis, honestly, I would bite the bullet and I would try to get to Pittsburgh and try to be the heir apparent for Ben Roethlisberger. They kind of had the same kind of gunslinger mentality, and I think he can learn under him a little bit. And I don't think Ben has more than maybe a year, maybe two. And James is still young, so I think that will give him the ability to go in there, learn the offense, and when it's your time, you can be the next Phillip Rivers when Drew Brees left, and you can be the next great Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. I would say go there.
I'm not mad at that. I think that's a good option as well. I like what you said, Brandon, as far as Cam Newton. I can see him in New England, but I really think Cam's going to end up in Miami. They'll probably get Tua to give Cam a nice 1-year deal. Let Cam kind of get out there, do his thing, and groom a young Tua. As far as Jameis, man, I think I like Pittsburgh as well. I've been trying to find a way to land him a job. I know Jacksonville's open as well. Miami's open, but he might need to get out of Florida.
Free Leonard Fournette.
He might need to change. Yeah, I mean Leonard Fournette might be.
Where there's no crab leg.
I mean, he a millionaire. He can get him down there anywhere. I do like what you said about Pittsburgh. Quickly, gentlemen, as we wrap up in the NFL, just kind of like a thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you gentlemen think that the NFL season will start on time? Thumbs up, yes. Thumbs down for no. Interesting. Okay, interesting. Moving right along, though, it's been about 2 weeks since the NBA season is suspended. And then, interesting, the last 2 Hawks games, I covered one game, and then you gentlemen covered the final 2 games. I covered the game in which the news kind of broke that media rules would be different. Then you gentlemen covered the game in which the media rules were different. And then before the next game could take place, the season was actually suspended. It's a lot of unknowns, right? A lot of unknowns right now. One thing that is kind of frustrating me, I must be honest, is that with so many unknowns and so many unknown variables. We're still like the fact that things are being dated, like that they'll look at it this time and this time. I think it should just kind of be a pause and we just wait and see what goes on. But we're gonna live in a fantasy world and we're gonna imagine that basketball is still being played. And I'm gonna switch it up a little bit because Trae Young has been kind of hinting on social media that he can have his own signature shoe possibly being released coming soon with Adidas. And I see Craig is already a fan of that. We're gonna have to make sure that he gets a personalized pair.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably close to May, June, because at this time players ain't getting paid, executives papers getting cut, so they're gonna try to find a way to do it. And the fans out there, I mean, granted you want that extra revenue, but it's just like a pickup game. At that point, it'll be a pickup game, glorified pickup game that will actually matter. So they'll take it back to the old school, like you in the gym. So you still have people watching, tune in. You still get that. You just won't have the fact that people yelling and all that. So, but now you can see, saying the trash talk, the stuff that you want to hear. So they may find a way to do it that way if you had to do it in the practice facility or in the main arena, just with no fans in there. But they're gonna find a way to do it because they go need that stream of people watching. If at some point this summer or early fall.
Maybe you can have fans like in the upper level instead of them being able to be close to the team. Like I just, it would be awkward as hell, and I think we all think that, like, just to be there, like as media members, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna want media to be there too. Like as media members, for it to be nothing but us and cameramen and the players and coaches. All you hear is the ball bouncing and sneakers screeching on the floor. Like that. Like,
it's just like watching Summer League. It just be like watching Summer League when they don't win.
I mean,
I said we'd hear them talking trash. We'd hear them talking trash to each other and calling out picks and defensive assignments and whatnot. It'd be weird, and the only reason they would do that is for the TV dollars, because they know that TV revenue would need to be made. Because they're already taking news broke earlier today that players and executives might be taking 20% less this year already because of how things are shaping out with the TV money not being made here. So it's all about that moolah. And speaking of major sports, professional sports being canceled, the 2020 Olympics that it was set to take place in Tokyo have been postponed. They've been postponed and they'll take place next year. Canada had came out very early before things actually were announced about the actual Olympics being postponed, saying we ain't coming no way. They said they're not coming. So that was going to be interesting to see. Well, gentlemen, what were your thoughts when you found out that the Olympics were postponed, and did the IOC make the right decision?
I was like, yeah, that's not surprising. Especially being over there in Asia, I was like, yeah, that's not surprising. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't really watch the Olympics like that anyway. So it's like, all right, cool. Y'all not doing the Olympics. Yeah, that's it. And they be coming on that odd, random ass hours anyway. But I was like, well, that's probably best. And just wait. Just push it back a year. And then just have the Olympics in 3 years instead of doing it every 4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, they say we don't really watch probably but basketball and track. That's about it. I'm bad. I don't watch water polo and diving. We was only watching because of my help. And he ain't doing it no more, so we ain't watching because of that. So the basketball track. That's what you need. So if you cancel today, that's fine. You will jump. So that's another thing with the NBA. If you try to wait and have the season start all the way up to August, the Olympics is next year. So we already got players that committed to play in the Olympics. So what you gonna do with that? So that plays another part of it too. That's extra money too, no. that go into their pockets. So
just let the college players play.
no, we already see what happened. We getting spanked up in the world with the young players. They won't. You know how the U.S. is. They want to win everything. So they ain't gonna put the college players out there.
They're gonna put them pros out there. And gentlemen, we've had a lot of time to kind of be at home with everything that's going on. So, what y'all watching out here right now? What's your your movies? What shows you watching on Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, the random streaming services? What you watching out here?
We know what you're watching. Okay, we already know what you're watching. Okay.
My man will probably watch Frozen at least 38 times.
Man, I honestly don't want to even discuss it. Cause I used to like Olaf. Olaf was my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is a wrap. Like, that shit is a wrap. Like, but I mean, it's clutch because all I gotta do in the morning, put on Olaf, I can get an extra half an hour of sleep. So, what y'all watching though? What y'all got going on?
Man, I've been watching the Hip Hop Evolution. I've been watching that. I started watching a little Kevin Hart documentary thing yesterday, which is actually, kind of appealing.
The joint on Netflix.
Yeah. Now I want to watch not the stand up stuff, but the documentary thing he had going.
Okay.
That was very appealing to watch. I got to finish watching that up. I mean, do the same thing, play 2K. I mean, that's after you do that for a while, but all right, I'm doing that. Try to play Madden. Ain't nothing on TV, so you just do nothing. For real, this is boring, bro. This is boring.
Man.
Craig, what you watching? What you I know you got a few movies or a few shows up your sleeves. What you watching right now?
Man, so I don't watch Harlem Nights like 8 times on Netflix. Ozark about to start back. Altered Carbon. On the Block. What else? All American.
I don't say I watch All American when it come on regularly.
I can't tell you how many old Alabama games I done watched on YouTube.
Oh, you getting highlights off of YouTube?
Yeah,
man, they got the whole game.
I've been watching. Yeah, I've been going back.
I watched when we beat I watched when we beat Florida State in the opening day game.
You watched that Clemson game?
Yeah, the one we won. Yeah, I watched that one.
No, not that one.
I watched Derrick Henry highlights. I watched Dame Lillard highlights. What else? Man, yeah. What else? I watched the Avengers like 3 times.
What'd you watch?
The Avengers. Like I watched that. The original.
Yeah.
Of course, I got a Fire Stick, so I'm stealing. So.
Okay. Y'all see how movies are actually starting to come? They're gonna start coming right to the crib, like during this time. I don't know.
I think you gotta pay like what, $20 or something.
Well, it depends, because certain things will come out. It'll be like the movie price. You can buy it, and it's like actually $20, or you can like watch it like it's in the movie. Some of them are actually starting in April, but onward on Disney, you can actually buy it now. I mean, it was just in the theaters, but because theaters are shut down, you can buy it, but then you can stream it on Disney Plus come April 3rd. But it's certain things like I think
they still got the drive-in movie too on Moreland. I think they still open.
Oh, I ain't mad at that.
Tell people your IG. Come on, hurry up. Golly.
Oh, well, hey, shut up, man. You can follow me
like
at
we still having
CEO
some technical
Trish
difficulties over there with B Diddy, you know what I'm saying?
Eldorado 2452.
And of course, you can follow the show. It's Live Hip Hop Daily. You can also follow the show at These Urban Times. You got Groovy Lou down there. Groove, go ahead and let them know all your stuff.
Groove.